I stood before the towering, decaying structure. Its once vibrant facade now a canvas for nature's reclamation. The abandoned building loomed over me, a forgotten monument to a bygone era. My curiosity piqued. I pushed open the creaking front door and stepped into a world frozen in time. The air was heavy with dust, and my every footstep echoed through the empty corridors. Sunlight filtered through broken windows, casting eerie patterns on the dilapidated walls. I couldn't help but wonder what secrets this forsaken place held, what stories whispered through its crumbling bricks. As I explored further, I stumbled upon a room untouched by time. The remnants of a forgotten party lay strewn across the floor, shattered glasses, faded streamers, and deflated balloons. It was as if the celebration had abruptly ended, leaving behind an atmosphere of melancholy. In another corner, I discovered a child's bedroom, complete with a weathered teddy bear and a dusty dollhouse. The walls were adorned with faded posters of childhood heroes, now almost unrecognizable. I couldn't help but wonder what had happened to the child who had once occupied this room, and why it had been left behind. Venturing deeper into the building, I found a crumbling staircase that led to an upper floor. The steps groaned in protest as I ascended, my heart pounding with anticipation. The upper level revealed a maze of forgotten offices, their desks covered in yellowed papers and broken typewriters. It was a graveyard of forgotten dreams and abandoned ambitions. In a corner office, I discovered a diary, its pages yellowed with age. Curiosity got the better of me, and I began to read the faded ink that chronicled the struggles and desires of the building's former occupants. Tales of triumph and heartbreak unfolded before my eyes, connecting me to the lives once lived within these walls. But as I continued to explore, a sense of unease settled over me. Shadows danced in the corners of my vision, and whispers seemed to echo through the empty halls. The building had a way of imprinting its past on those who dared to trespass its forgotten corridors. In the bowels of the structure, I stumbled upon a hidden basement. Its entrance was concealed behind a rotting bookshelf, and I couldn't resist the urge to investigate further. The air grew musty and stale as I descended into the darkness, the sound of dripping water echoing ominously. As my flashlight swept over the room, my breath caught in my throat. The walls were adorned with cryptic symbols and strange drawings, a haunting testament to an unknown presence that had inhabited this forsaken place. Fear clawed at my insides, urging me to flee, but a morbid curiosity held me captive. Suddenly, a cold breeze brushed against my neck, sending shivers down my spine. I turned, my heart racing, and there, standing in the shadows, was a figure. Its eyes glowed with an otherworldly light, and a malicious grin twisted its face. With a jolt of terror, I realized that I was not alone in this abandoned building. In a panic, I ran, stumbling through the darkness, desperate to escape the clutches of whatever entity lurked within those walls. The building seemed to resist my exit, its corridors shifting and twisting, as if playing a cruel game with my sanity. Finally, I burst through the front doors, gasping for breath and drenched in sweat. The abandoned building loomed behind me, an enigma that would forever haunt my memories. It was a place frozen in time, where the past intertwined with the present, and where the echoes of lost souls whispered their stories to those brave enough to listen. The rain poured relentlessly as I stood before the crumbling facade of the abandoned building. The dilapidated structure loomed ominously, casting long shadows that seemed to dance in the stormy night. Despite the warnings and rumors that surrounded this place, I couldn't resist the allure of exploring its secrets. With a mixture of curiosity and trepidation, I pushed open the rusty metal door and stepped into the darkness within. The air was heavy with a musty odor, a mixture of decay and dampness. As my flashlight pierced through the gloom, I was greeted by a scene of utter desolation. Broken furniture, shattered glass, and decaying debris littered the floors, creating a labyrinthine path that led deeper into the heart of the building. The flickering beam of my flashlight revealed only fragments of the horrors that lay hidden within. As I cautiously made my way through the abandoned corridors, the silence weighed heavily upon me. The only sound was the echo of my footsteps, reverberating through the desolate halls like a mournful requiem. Each step seemed to disturb the stagnant air, as if awakening something malevolent that had long slumbered within these forsaken walls. It was in a dimly lit room that I stumbled upon a collection of worn-out photographs scattered across the floor. Curiosity compelled me to examine them, even as a sense of foreboding washed over me. The images depicted faces frozen in time, their eyes filled with sorrow and despair. But there was something else, something unsettling that lingered beneath their haunted gazes. A sudden gust of wind howled through the broken windows, causing the photographs to flutter and dance in the air. I shivered, feeling as if unseen eyes were watching my every move. Yet, despite the growing unease, an insatiable curiosity propelled me forward, deeper into the building's heart of darkness. As I descended a decaying staircase, a sickening feeling tightened its grip around my chest. The lower level was cloaked in darkness, the feeble light of my flashlight barely penetrating the thick, oppressive blackness. Shadows seemed to twist and writhe, assuming grotesque forms that played tricks on my mind. The air grew colder, chilling me to the bone. Then I heard it, a faint whisper, carried by the wind. My heart pounded in my chest as I strained to listen. The words were indistinct, yet they held a haunting quality that sent shivers down my spine. The whispers seemed to be calling my name, urging me to venture deeper into the abyss. Compelled by an unseen force, I followed the whispers down a narrow corridor. The walls seemed to close in around me, suffocating me with their decaying embrace. And then, I entered a chamber bathed in an eerie glow. The room was adorned with flickering candles, their wavering flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. In the center stood a weathered pedestal, upon which rested an ancient book bound in black leather. It beckoned to me, its pages seemingly infused with forbidden knowledge and untold secrets. Driven by a mix of fascination and dread, I reached out and opened the book. The moment its pages creaked open, a surge of malevolent energy filled the air. The whispers grew louder, their once soft voices turning into manic laughter that echoed through the room. The very fabric of reality seemed to warp and distort around me. In a desperate attempt to escape, I slammed the book shut. But it was too late. The laughter grew louder, more menacing, as an invisible force pushed me to the ground. Shadows swirled around me, closing in like a sinister vortex. Fear consumed me as I realized that I had awakened something ancient, something dark and hungry for souls. With a final burst of strength, I fought against the unseen entity and scrambled to my feet. I ran, my heart pounding in my ears, my every breath ragged. The building seemed to twist and shift, its corridors stretching and contorting in a sinister dance of torment. Finally, I burst through the door, stumbling out into the drenched night. Rain soaked my clothes, but I didn't care. I had escaped the clutches of that malevolent force that lurked within the abandoned building. I would forever carry the scars of that harrowing encounter, haunted by the knowledge that some places should never be disturbed. Some secrets should never be uncovered. Now as I stand here, drenched and shaken, I can't help but wonder what horrors remain within the confines of that forsaken building. The whispers still echo in my mind, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurks in the shadows. And as long as I live, I will carry the weight of that night, a chilling testament to the terrors that lie dormant, waiting to ensnare the unwary souls who dare to trespass into the realm of the unknown.